is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Black We are Wisconsin.
Fresh off snatching 3 of 4 from Arizona, the Brewers will look to continue their winning ways rolling with a weekend 3-game set at Miller Park against the Pittsburgh Pirates. 3 storylines to keep an eye on heading into this series. The Crew secured a series win with a 6-4 win over Arizona yesterday, with Zach Davies picking up his 8th win of the season. Tonight, Junior Guerra will get the call for the Crew to open the series against the Pirates, and Guerra has been getting it done with an ERA south of 2 over his last 6 starts. As I mentioned, the Pirates are in town, and they have baffled the Brewers over the last 4, going 3-1, but we'll see if the tide can turn at Miller Park tonight. Good evening, everyone. I'm Telly Hughes. The Brewers have been rolling as of late, winning 3 of 4 from the Arizona Diamondbacks coming into this series, and in large part, 4 of the 7 games they won so far in this homestand has been due to the guys not in the middle of the lineup. Hernan Perez has been extremely productive this homestand with 2 doubles, a home run, and 5 runs, while Captain Kurt Neuenhuis has been crushing with 4 home runs and 7 runs batted in, and Craig Counsell likes when the spotlight is spread around.
I love it. I think it's fun. I think it's great. I think, you know, when you're you know, those guys that don't get always as many opportunities, or kind of, you know, aren't the, you know, the middle of the order guys, whatever. You know, I think it's great when they kind of drive the bus and pick up the slack and are the guys that, you know, doing the interviews after the game. It's fun, and it's good for everybody, because you know, they're part of the success of a team as much as anybody.
Junior Guerra will get the call for the Crew for the series opener against the Pirates. Matt and Rock will have more on Junior's sensational rookie season after the break, when Brewers Live continues.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time.
Very interesting pitching matchup here tonight. A couple of rookies, but they're separated in age by 7 years. Stephen Brault on the mound for the Pittsburgh Pirates against 31-year-old rookie Junior Guerra for the Brew Crew. Good evening again inside Miller Park alongside Bill Schroeder. I'm Matt LePay. BA back from his assignment on Monday in the road trip opener in San Diego. Well, I mentioned, Rock, this is a very interesting matchup. When Junior Guerra first joined the rotation, he helped stabilize the starting staff. And right now he's doing more than that. He's become one of the really good stories, not just with the Brewers, but across the National League.
And all of a sudden, a lot of interest in Junior Guerra around the trading deadline. So keep an eye on that. That could be kind of a surprise. But Junior, since he's come up, has been outstanding. I mean, since the All-Star break, he has been virtually unhittable. A 146 earned run average. Look at the opponent batting average under 200. And he's really been doing a nice job pounding the strike zone. He's actually making up pitches as he's going on. I mean, he's throwing the splitter a little bit harder. He's throwing 2 seamers now. So he's really evolving as a quality major league pitcher right before our eyes here in Milwaukee. He's done a great job.
Well, you take a look at what Junior has done since the middle of May, and that's some pretty fair company that Guerra is with right now in terms of earned run average. He works quickly when he's going well, and he has been very effective here so far for the Brew Crew. Looking for more of that tonight as the Brewers and Pirates, they're finally meeting at Miller Park, Pittsburgh's first visit here of the season. We'll get you started. Game 1 of 3 right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Is gone. He's done it again. Ryan Braun to center field. Hudson lifting one deep to left field, and that is gone.
Hit well. Harrison running hard all the way. He's trying for 3, and he is in.
And there's a swing and a miss, and Guerra starts it with a bang today.
Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casinos. Spend the night with luxury. Finally, the Pirates coming to Miller Park as we get toward the end of July. They'll be here again late next month and third week of September. It's Junior Guerra, one of the terrific stories for this Brewers team. Gets the starting call again tonight for Craig Counsell's group.
Yeah, he's been outstanding, having a very good run after the All-Star break here. 16th appearance of the year. His earned run average outstanding. The highest ERA he's had in any given month is 3.47. That's how good he's been, making start number 2 against the Pirates this year.
And he starts out John Jaso with a strike, and we are underway. The series opener here in Milwaukee, and Jaso with a line drive that's snagged by Scooter Gennett. Good way to start here for the Brew Crew. Let's check out the rest of that Pittsburgh Pirates lineup presented by Potawatomi. You just watched the line out off the bat of John Jaso. He's followed by Gregory Polanco and Andrew McCutchen. The All-Stars, Starling Marte hitting cleanup. Jung Ho Kong at third. Francisco Cervelli behind the plate. Harrison, Mercer, and Stephen Brault rounding out the Pirates batting order against Junior Guerra. And here is Gregory Polanco, who's been swinging a pretty good bat since the All-Star break. He's actually been swinging a pretty good bat, period. And against the Brewers as well, and he's 7 for 21 since the All-Star break. The right fielder in a Pirates outfield that I would think that they'd be more than happy to match up against about any outfield in the big leagues.
Yeah, offensively and defensively, these guys can run them down in the outfield. Yeah, Polanco, Marte, McCutchen, offense and defense.
And they hit 2, 3, and 4 in the Pirates batting order. 1 ball, 1 strike on Gregory Polanco. It's a Pirates team that comes to town playing pretty well, recovering from a bad month of June. They really scuffled in June, but Clint Hurdle's team, actually from about the latter part of June, late June to now, they are 18-9. Overall, they are 4 games above 500. But just a couple of games out in the wild card race. They are among a group of teams battling for the wild card spots. A lot of ground to make up to catch the Chicago Cubs. But it's a Pirates team that has made the postseason the last 3 years and in the mix to make it 4. But they have work to do.
Yeah, they have to iron out their starting rotation. We talked about that on Brewers Live pregame. A lot of problems with the rotation. Everything else pretty good shape.
Guerra with a 1-2 pitch and another chance for Scooter Gennett. Nice polite hop with the second baseman. 2 up, 2 down.
Let's check out the Menards Brewers defense. Jake Elmore, yet another spot in that defensive alignment. He moves over to left field. You got Broxton in center, Neuenhuis in right. Perez, Villar, Gennett, and Carter from third to first, and Jonathan Lucroy behind home plate. He got yesterday off.
Jake Elmore, 4th straight time he has been in the starting lineup at a different position, and the 5th in his 6 starts as a Brewer. Lesson on how to stay employed, show versatility. And here is Andrew McCutchen. First pitch hacking, and that's into shallow right field, and it's Scooter Gennett, a busy man in the first inning. Junior Guerra needed all of 8 pitches. The Brewers are coming up. Guerra needing just 8 pitches to get through the first inning, and now Craig Counsell will watch his team hit for the first time tonight. 44-56, the Brewers' record this season. The Potawatomi batting order for Counsell begins with Jonathan Villar back in the lineup tonight, followed by Jake Elmore and Jonathan Lucroy. Chris Carter hits cleanup, followed by Hernan Perez and Scooter Gennett. Another start for Keon Broxton. Kirk Neuenhuis had a big homer late yesterday afternoon, and Junior Guerra rounding out the Brewers batting order against the 24-year-old left-hander Steven Brault.
Yeah, second appearance, second start for the Pirates this year. He did make a start against the Cardinals. That was back on July 5th. 4 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run. He has spent the lion's share of the year down in AAA with some pretty good numbers. 2-4, but a 199 earned run average. Made the last start in AAA on July 22nd, 6 scoreless innings. He threw 97 pitches.
And he will face Jonathan Villar back in the lineup here for the Brewers. It was a rugged night and some teaching points made. Wasn't so much the couple of errors. It was the base running mistake trying to steal third with 2 outs early in the game. And Jonathan Lucroy was at the plate, and then after a couple of innings, Counsell made the move, brought Villar over to the dugout with him and inserted Jake Elmore, and was able to slide Hernan Perez over to short. And just a chance, Rock, we talked about it on Wednesday night, and Craig Counsell has addressed it, just to try to teach him a few things and learn some lessons. And Craig Counsell knows as well as anyone how talented Villar is, just trying to harness it a little bit.
Yeah, you're never going to penalize a guy like that for making physical errors. Those things are going to happen. It's the mental errors that that you have to really try and do something about. And Craig Counsell, not just with Villar, but I think that resonates throughout the entire club.
Yeah, I would agree. It's an excellent point. Every player now in the clubhouse, and I'm sure they knew it before, but it's reinforced, saying, hey, you need to do certain things to get the playing time.
Yeah, well, until you do it the first time, I mean, it's like.
And maybe lesson learned indeed. Villar down the line for extra bases, and Jonathan Villar returns to the lineup with a double.
Brault didn't think that was a fair ball at all. You got Gung over there at third base, but you can't review a play like that in front of the third base umpire. And here we go. Clint Hurdle going to go out there. There's a slider from Brault. One bounce out into left field. Villar thinks it's foul. Villar not sure. He starts to go when the umpire, that's Mark Wegner over there at third base, says it's a fair ball. It bounces in foul territory, but that's not what you have to look at. I mean, once it bounced in front of third, it can, kind of slice over the bag and then hit beyond the bag in foul territory, which it does. But you see the third base umpire right on it.
Yeah, Mark Wagner over there at third with the fair ball signal, and Jonathan Villar with a double here to lead off the Brewers' half of the first. So now Jake Elmore playing left field tonight. Ryan Braun again not in the lineup. He was a late scratch yesterday, was Brawny. Some right side tightness. And it's the day to day, and you hear it a lot, and that's the case with Brawny. Trying to get that right side loosened up to the point where he can get back into the lineup, but not in there tonight. So a chance for the versatile Jake Elmore, who has played all over the outfield as well as third base here for the Brewers, and another starting call for the 29-year-old.
And he's done a good job defensively, regardless of where he's at, in the field. Very versatile. He's got a good arm. He can play the outfield. We saw him in center, right, now left. And nice to be able to play everywhere.
He made a very impressive play Wednesday night, at a night when next to nothing was going well for the Brewers. A hard charge and a bare hand pick to retire Paul Goldschmidt. Brewers taking 3 out of 4 from the Diamondbacks. Crew winning yesterday 6-4. Zach Davies with yet another strong outing en route to his 8th win in 12 decisions. 6 1/3 yesterday. Davies giving up just a couple of earned runs. He continues to pitch really, really well.
Yes, sir. I mean, getting better. It seems like he and Guerra just continue to get more confident every time they go out there in the mound. Davies now, I mean, you got to figure he's the most consistent guy they've had, along with Junior. And both of them came up around May. That's when the fortunes of the rotation started to turn around a little bit.
Yeah, early in the season, it was only Jimmy Nelson. He was the only consistent starter, and then a couple of bumpy turns early for Davies, and since then, it has been just terrific work from the young right-handed pitcher. Villar on the move is Elmore. It's a fly ball to right. Polanco the catch, and Villar will retreat. So he was breaking for third on 2-1, and there is out number 1 here in the first.
Well, let's check out a very good defensive unit for these Pittsburgh Pirates, brought to you by Menards tonight. They've turned 109 double plays this year. That's the most in the National League, only 54 errors. We talked about that outfield, how athletic they are. Very good up the middle as well. Jordy Mercer, Josh Harrison up the middle. You got Cervelli behind home plate. Outstanding backstop. It's a good Pirates defense.
1 out. Villar the runner at second base for Jonathan Lucroy. An even 300 average for Luke and an on-base percentage of .361. 50 RBIs. A chance to add to it right now. And yes, the name continues to pop out there. Remember, the trade deadline is 3 o'clock Central on Monday afternoon. So as history tells us, and this isn't specific to the Brewers really, is all across baseball, activity figures to pick up. Seen a couple of trades here in baseball in the last 24 hours, including Eduardo Nunez going from the Twins to the San Francisco Giants. We're seeing the Marlins and the Padres in a 7-player trade. Andrew Cashner and Colin Ray, a couple of right-handers going to Miami.
And the big one with Aroldis Chapman to Chicago. The Cubs, you have to deal with Chapman again.
Yeah, and he has made his debut the last couple of nights for Joe Maddon's team. Cubs earlier this afternoon defeated the Mariners 12-1. John Lester, the winning pitcher. He's now 11-4 on the season. A ball, a strike to Lucroy.
I had a chat with Craig Counsell about Brault here today before the game during batting practice. He kind of compared him to Adam Conley, the Miami Marlins starting left-handed pitcher. You know, not overpowering, has a slider, a good changeup. He mixes it up pretty well. Works both sides of the plate.
Grew up just outside of San Diego, California. Did Brault, El Cajon, California, 24 years old. Went to college at Regis University. It's a Division II program in Denver. And not only did he pitch, he played the outfield, and he was quite a hitter in college. In fact, in his one and only big league start earlier in the month against St. Louis, he faced Mike Leake his first at bat, got a base hit against him. Lucroy with a ground ball over to Jung Ho Gong at third, and Villar has to hold. There are 2 men out. Villar began the inning with a double down the line as he and Josh Harrison have a nice conversation out there.
Having a good time. Something tells me Josh Harrison can talk to anybody, right?
I
Maybe
think so.
A lampshade, perhaps. He's a good guy. He loves playing baseball.
He has hurt the Brewers so far this season. These teams have had 2 series, both in Pittsburgh, middle of April, as well as last week. Harrison had the walk-off in one of those Pirates wins, a triple, and then scored on a throwing error. Here's Chris Carter. Going after a slider from Brault and fouling it off. Trying to get him going again are the Brewers. You see the numbers for Carter, 16 of the 22 homers coming at home. He's just 3 for his last 28. Trying to get that big bat rolling again. 0-1 pitch. Behind there and down 0-2. He is, by the way, Brault mentioned where he went to school, Regis University, the first to make the big leagues from that school in Denver. Brault was an 11th round draft pick of the Orioles back in 2013. He came over to the Pirates. He was part of the Travis Snyder trade before last season began. And the young left-hander with the 1-2, and that just missed away. .22 homers and 56 RBIs for Chris Carter going into the weekend.
And looking to get on one of those hot streaks. I mean, hitters like Carter are going to go through spells where they're really having a difficult time, and all of a sudden get pretty hot. And Craig Counsell waiting for one of those stretches. They've been tweaking some of his mechanics, having him stay back a little bit, maybe driving the ball back through the middle a little bit more. Darnell Cole's doing a lot of hard work with these hitters on a daily basis.
Brault with the 2-2 again. Carter has worked the count full. Yeah, we have seen, and that even goes back to spring training as a Brewer, his ability to drive the ball up the middle or opposite field. I mean, he can launch any angle, but he definitely can go the other way and drive the ball a long way. And again, it's Harrison sneaking behind VR.
He's trying to keep him close. I doubt at this point he's going to try and steal third with 2 outs.
Pirates have the shift on here for Carter, so not a long way to go for Harrison, the second baseman. And VR is running, and Carter sends one deep to left field, and that's how you bust a slump. 2-run shot for Chris Carter.
Well, maybe this is the beginning of one, huh?
Could be.
Yep, a 3-2 pitch, and well, getting the pitch down the middle with VR running, of all things. And check this pitch out. That was actually a slider that was pretty much over the heart of the plate. He goes down and gets it. Nice easy swing, and jumping off the bat on a full count. Well, Chris Carter giving the Brewers a 2-0 lead. That was way back.
Big man goes deep for the first time since July 8th. As the Brewers break on the board against young Steven Brault. Now Hernan Perez to the plate. Back in there at third base. He hit a 2-run homer yesterday against Robbie Ray and the Arizona Diamondbacks, game where the D-backs got a couple of early runs, and then Perez launched one in the 3rd inning to tie the game.
How good has he been, right?
He's really been an important player for this team, and again, he could play third. He's been good turns out in right field, but with the Will Middlebrooks injury, seeing him now a lot at third. 279 average, 305 on base percentage for Perez. He goes the other way. Polanco is there, and that'll do it for the Brewers in the first. But a good start for Milwaukee as VR begins with a double, and then Carter takes one downtown for the 23rd time this year. Through one here at Miller Park, 2-0 Brew Crew. Carter gives the Brewers the early 2-0 lead. Now time for tonight's home field advantage, brought to you by Lowe's. The Brewers have had the Pirates figured out really over the last decade, but even look back the last couple of years, playoff caliber Pirates teams, but the Brewers here at Miller Park have taken care of it. 13-5 against Pittsburgh in that stretch. That's impressive.
And sometimes success like that, you know, when you come into a ballpark where things normally just go bad for you, at some point it starts creeping into your head a little bit, even before you show up to play the Brewers in a series.
Starling Marte sends one toward the gap, right center field, and that is off the wall. And the Pirates all-star on his way to second with a double, leading off inning number 2.
Yeah, this guy's having a terrific season, a .318 batting average, and he can run. He and Jonathan Villar. It's going to go down to the wire this year, I would imagine. And Marte doing a real good job just staying back and driving it into right field. Right at the base of the wall. He hit that one well.
So yeah, that'll be one of the subplots in this series, this stolen base duel between the co-leaders Marte and Jonathan Villar. Villar was breaking for third a couple of times in that first inning, including the pitch that Carter sent over the wall and left.
Yeah, 3-2 pitch. They had Gung way behind the bag at third. I'm not sure it would have been he would have been able to throw him out anyway. But interesting that he would take off with 2 outs.
Jung Ho Kang, a .241 average, had a big day on Wednesday against the Mariners in a Pirates romp, drove in 4. He does have pop in his bat. Well, his year ended in mid-September last year. The leg injury and a collision at second base with the Cubs' Chris Coghlan. Worked his way back this season. Did not begin on the active roster to begin the year. Long a wave and a miss, and Junior Guerra gets his first strikeout of the night.
That's that split-fingered fastball. He's got 2 of them now. He's got one to split change. This one here throws a little bit harder. Throws that with 2 strikes. That's more of the classic splitter right there. He started throwing that about 4 starts ago.
Well, his first 2 starts as a Brewer would not be defined as quality. You could certainly define him as stabilizing. His first start on May 3rd against the LA Angels, 6 innings, gave up 4 runs, and then his next start at Cincinnati gave his team 6 more innings, and then the run of quality starts really started to get rolling. He has 10 quality starts, including 5 of his last 6. Teams hitting just above 200 against him. Just been terrific. 31 years old, getting the opportunity and making the most of it.
Yeah, really his only bad start came on June 16th against the Dodgers. That was in LA. 5 1/3, 5 earned runs.
Francisco Cervelli with a pop up, and it'll be Villar. There's out number 2. Hey, tonight's game between the Pirates and the Brewers is being broadcast on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces serving around the world on land and on the ships at sea. Welcome. Welcome and thank you.
Welcome, and enjoy the diversion for just a little bit.
Got that right. Enjoy a little baseball here at Miller Park. 2 division opponents. Mentioned it before, worth mentioning again. You're going to see a lot of the Pirates here in the second half of the season. Here's Josh Harrison. Hitting .266. And a swing and a miss.
And you were talking about that start against the Dodgers in LA where he got roughed up a little bit, but then 2 starts after that. This is it gets into the area where the guy knows how to make adjustments. He faced the Dodgers here at Miller Park, 8 scoreless innings. So he kind of had a sense what the Dodgers were thinking up there at the plate in LA and changed his pattern completely. and had a ton of success.
That gets by Lucroy, and moving over to third is Marte. That bounced up there and Luke unable to block it. Marte now over to third.
And that's not something you see very often. A ball getting by Luke, particularly an off-speed pitch. See him shaking his head. Takes a lot of pride in that.
Challenge to hit against Guerra. It is a challenge to catch him. That is a wild pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike to Harrison. Harrison's put up some pretty good numbers last 10 games against the Brewers. He's hitting .395 against Milwaukee in that stretch. All-Star a couple of years ago, and off of that signed a nice 4-year contract. This is year 2 of it. One-two pitch. Ground ball over to VR, and that will wrap up the second inning for the Pirates. A leadoff double for Marte. No harm, no foul. Still 2-0 Milwaukee. And a good start for the Brewers as they lead the Pirates 2-0 as the Brewers come calling here bottom half of the second, and Scooter Jeanette will lead things off. Perez having himself, talked about that the last inning, having himself a very nice season. Had a 2-run homer yesterday, and here's Scooters having himself a pretty good homestand here for the Crew. Had a hit yesterday. He was in someone we've talked about him in a lot of areas, Rock, and hitting left-handers, and we'll test that again tonight. But he's handled lefties very well this season.
He has. I mean, not only getting base hits, but working the count, trying to draw a walk to keep that line moving in the batting order. Having a difficult time against the Pirates, though, this year. One of those teams that seems to be able to get Scooter out on a consistent basis. Got to break that string.
Yeah, 1 for 21 against the Buccos going into this series. 2-0 pitch against Steven Brault. A fly ball out to shallow left. Starling Marte will squeeze it for the first out. Back at it tomorrow night, 6:10 start, and then Sunday afternoon. Brewers trying to finish off what's been a good homestand so far. They are 4-3, and really could have, arguably should have been at least 5-3. The Sunday game against the Cubs here at Miller Park got away from the Crew, but playing pretty well here overall.
And they scored some runs against those Arizona Diamondbacks, except for that one game. They lost 8-1, but for the most part, the bats have been alive.
And yesterday, that included Keon Broxton had a hit, knocked in a couple of runs as he once again gets a starting call out in center field. This is his 23rd start with the Brew Crew. Kirk Nieuwenhuis also homered yesterday. It was a big homer, too, in the 8th inning, an insurance run, and the game the Brewers won 6-4. It was good to see this team after the clunker on Wednesday night. They had the very quick turn playing yesterday afternoon, and Ryan Braun was a late scratch in the lineup. Craig Counsell mixing and matching as best he could, and the Brewers were able to get the win over Arizona.
It's always good to win games when two of your best hitters or your two best hitters aren't playing, especially when you're able to score 6 runs. Kirk Nieuwenhuis, you talk about Broxton, Hernan Perez, some of those guys really stepping it up.
Keon Broxton, who runs extremely well, he draws a walk. Well, let's see what Keon has in mind. Kirk Nieuwenhuis steps in, been playing well. Let's get more on that. Let's check in with Telly Hughes.
Well, Matt, Nieuwenhuis has been part of an unlikely source of production so far this homestand in our Honda Power Sports Power Stat. Kirk Nieuwenhuis has 4 home runs and 7 runs batted in over his last 6 games. But I was talking about Nieuwenhuis being a part of a crew like Hernan Perez, who has 2 doubles, a home run, and 5 runs this homestand. And there's Kirk again, guys.
Right on cue, Telly. Stings one into center field, does Nieuwenhuis. Well, with 1 out, the Brewers have runners at first and second.
Yeah, lefty versus lefty. You don't see Nieuwenhuis get too many starts against left-handed pitching. But here he goes. He gets a fastball away and able to drive it into center field. There's a good start for the night for Kirk Nieuwenhuis against a left-handed pitcher.
Nieuwenhuis aboard, and now Junior Guerra. Guerra laying one down, and Brault will give way to Jaso, to the covering Harrison. Good bunt by Guerra. Runners now at second and third with 2 men out.
And it really does help himself with that bat. I mean, he will get a hit from time to time, but it's always important for the pitcher to drop down those bunts.
That's 6 of them now, and he is put down. 6 sacrifice bunts for Junior Guerra. A scoring opportunity here for the Brewers, and Jonathan Villar has been good with runners in scoring position this season. In fact, he has the best batting average on this Brewers team in these situations, runners in scoring position. 346 coming in. And a chance to add to an early 2-0 lead. Villar opened the bottom of the first with a double down the line in left.
Yeah, and these are backbreakers. I mean, you got your leadoff hitter that has had such good success in these situations. That means the bottom of the order is getting on base, and you're able to score runs when the bottom of the order is up.
1 strike pitch. Villar with a batting average that's on the edge of 300 overall. You see what he's done with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Switch hitter is fine on the right side. He is 333 against lefties. The ball is strike.
Likes to work inside, does Brault. We've seen it already in the first couple innings. 91 not to 93 with a fastball, pretty straight. Likes to work in. And once he has you looking inside for that fastball, that's when he's going to start throwing that changeup.
First look the Brewers have had against Steven Brault. 1-2 pitch. His fastball there is the count evens. .299 average at the moment for Jonathan Villar. On base percentage of .380. 2-2 pitch.
A little cross up maybe. And Cervelli almost didn't even get a glove on that.
Well, the catcher needed to take a breath, and now they'll have a little chat.
Yeah, he wasn't flailing after this one. He wasn't expecting this pitch. You could see the way it kind of creeps up on him. He was thinking off-speed pitch, probably slider. Watch the way he catches it. He's not ready for it, but able to knock it down.
Yeah, that was one he almost wore. Full count here with Broxton the runner at third. Neuenhuis at second. 2 men out. And VR goes down swinging. So Brault works his way out of trouble. And we are through 2 with the Brewers leading 2-0.
Time now for our greater coverage of baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile, and we'll talk a little trade action going on in Major League Baseball. Eduardo Nunez traded from the Minnesota Twins to the San Francisco Giants. He's batting .296 so far this season. Andrew Cashner traded to the Marlins today as part of a 7-player deal with the Padres. And speaking of new players with new teams, Aroldis Chapman picked up his first save with the Cubs in his debut as a Chicago Cub. Matt?
Yeah, Telly, thanks. Business picking up as we approach the Monday afternoon trade deadline.
Nunez just picked up 21 wins.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, Minnesota had 38 wins. The Giants 59.
Yep. There's the
nice little bump in the standings for him.
Jump right into a pennant race. Versatile player too. I think could fill a lot of spots as needed for Bruce Bochy's team. Well, even the manager Paul Mahler in Minnesota saying he was happy for him for the very reason, Rocky, you just stated, is he now jumps right in the middle of a team with World Series aspirations.
Right.
Just very disappointing year for the Twins. They got off to a miserable start and just have not been able to recover. Mercer, Brault, and Jaso 8-9-1 in the Pirates order as Mercer pops this one out of play. Brewers are 10-5 when Junior Guerra starts.
Yeah, and that includes losing his last 3 starts. No fault of his, though.
No, could have very easily had a couple of wins in that stretch.
He's given up 5 earned runs all month. That's in 4 starts. Not bad.
Yeah, 1.78 ERA in that stretch. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Mercer. Got him. There's out number 1.
Hey, tomorrow night, Miller Park will transform into County Stadium for 90s night. The Brewers are turning back the clock for the matchup with these Pirates with classic 90s jams, special in-game features, and more. For tickets, go to brewers.com/theme nights.
It's big time now. Classic 90s jams.
Yeah.
And you rip through that with authority.
I'm fired up. I can't wait for Dean Roscoe here at the ballpark, the organist.
Going to be big.
He is going to be on the top of his game. I know it.
Oh, guaranteed.
T-shirt, little tie-dye action.
He's always on it. He's just going to take it to another level. Trying to think if I had days get it warmed up right now. 0-2 the count to Brault. Known as a pretty good hitter, as we mentioned. His last year in college at D2 program, he hit .397. His first major league at bat in his one and only start, he singled off Mike Leake. Guerra ready with a 1-2.
Having a difficult time with that splitter, leaving it way high.
Here comes a 2-2 pitch. And now the count runs full. 6-2 record for Guerra. Start number 16 for him. Payoff pitch. Popped up. And VR will handle it, and there are 2 up, 2 down. 2 outs here in the third. Time for the Carsoup.com trivia question. We're the only 2 players with more than 7,000 at-bats with the Milwaukee Braves. Milwaukee Braves. By the way, Rock, nice job tonight. And seeing the pregame ceremony. Joe Adcock.
It was fun.
Yeah. The Walk of Fame here at Miller Park. Great career Adcock had with the Milwaukee Braves. 17-year career, 10 here in Milwaukee.
Yep, 19th player inducted in the Miller Park Walk of Fame, 7th from the old Braves.
Always fun to learn the history in some cases or revisit history in others. There's that 1957 World Series championship team. Great 7-game series against the Yankees.
I should say, Joe Adcock hit a 510-foot home run at Ebbets Field.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, over the roof. The only one ever that went over the roof there. So, big man could hit.
Pre-StatCast exit velocity era.
Right.
But I'm guessing it was rather it was a healthy exit velocity. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Guerra versus John Jaso. And Guerra strikes out the first baseman. A 1-2-3 inning for Junior Guerra. To the bottom of the 3rd we go. 2-0 Milwaukee, bottom of the third we go. And welcome to the booth here inside Miller Park alongside Bill Schroeder. I'm Matt LePay, man in the middle. Farm director Tom Flanagan, always on the go. Good to see you back here in Milwaukee. And Tom, we all year long, I know fans have had great interest in a lot of these young prospects, and we'll talk about some of the more familiar names I'm sure you get asked about a lot, but there's some other guys that maybe don't get talked about as much who are starting to do some good things here lately, like a certain right-hand pitcher who's on quite a roll right now in the month of July, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We got pretty good depth going right now. We've really stockpiled the system. The draft has infused quite a few more players, some quality players we're excited about. So a lot of guys are doing well. Brandon Woodruff, who you're kind of alluding to at Double-A, is actually throwing tonight for Biloxi. He is really on a roll. He's really had a big season. He's coming off a back-to-back Southern League Pitcher of the Week honors, and his last outing he threw shutout ball for I believe 6 innings and was responsible for the only run. Hit a solo shot to win the game 1-0. So he's really been throwing well.
Isan Diaz, a young kid shortstop down with the Timber Rattlers, is off to a pretty good start, having a pretty good July.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been on fire pretty much since June on. He came over in the Segura trade last year and has played a lot of shortstop up here. He's played a little second base as well, but he's leading the Midwest League in home runs, as you mentioned, and really shows power to the opposite field very well, and he's done a very good job defensively for us at short as well as at second.
Yeah, and Isan, or I should say Lucas Erceg, I mean, this guy doesn't seem like he's overmatched anywhere he's been playing. I mean, right now he's tearing it up over there in Appleton.
Yeah, he's a really good hitting third baseman, and we sent him out to Helena for about 26 games and hit 400, and we got him out of there pretty quick, and he's picked up right where he left off in Appleton for the Timber Rattlers, so holding down third base pretty well.
There's Jake Elmore continuing to impress in the starting lineup tonight in left field, and he gets a base hit to open the third inning. We are visiting with farm director Tom Flanagan, and so much interest every year. We're a little bit removed now from the draft, just a few weeks, but a guy like Corey Ray getting right into the fray, right, in Brevard County, just jumping right in there, and really, by all accounts, an impressive kid in terms of what he can do on the field. He's just an impressive guy all the way around, isn't he?
He is obviously a finalist for the Golden Spikes Award this year, and heard a lot of great things about him from our scouts, and the staff has just been raving about him down in Brevard, and it's off to a nice start there. It's obviously a big jump for him going to the Florida State League, but we feel he can hold his own there, and we're keeping tabs on him, and so far the early signs are very, very positive on Corey.
Yep, Orlando Arcia. I mean, everybody talks about this kid, but yeah, I mean, we wouldn't have the farm director up here and not ask about him. How is his how's his progress coming along, and how do you see, where is he at right now in the organization?
He's doing well. He's obviously a plus defender, and that really hasn't disappointed him. He's really held his own defensively, makes excuse me, highlight reel plays pretty much every other night, it seems like, from our reports. And offensively, he's holding his own there in AAA. He's got a few home runs. He's working on his plate discipline. That's always something that we're working with on the hitters, but something that he's made strides on and will continue to do so as he moves along, and probably won't be long before he's knocking on the door here to Miller Park.
It's interesting. You got the trading deadline coming up, and I know that the Brewers are looking to.
There's Lucroy going the other way, deep to right field. Look at that, and up against the wall, Polanco able to run it down as Elmore retreats.
But the Brewers looking to, they're sellers, obviously. They got some players everybody talking about, and in return you get minor leaguers. I mean, is that kind of anxious for you? Do you get these guys, and you got a lot of movement going on in the minor leagues around this time of the year, right?
Absolutely, yeah. David Stearns and Matt Arnold and the rest of the staff are all working hard for some time now. Obviously, it's culminating with the deadline coming up on August 1st, but we're just prepared on the minor league end for any contingencies that could come up. Obviously, we like our depth. We'll see how it goes at the deadline. You never know what, if anything, will happen, but there's always that anticipation and what if, but we just have to be prepared and ready to slot any players that we receive in or make up for anybody that gets brought up to the big leagues to fill a hole. So we're ready.
Yeah, I don't think most people realize, though, you need to bring a guy up like, Wilkins. Andy Wilkins comes up, and that's a trickle-down effect in the minor leagues, right? There's movement all over the place, right? When you bring a guy from the minor leagues up to the big leagues, and then when they go back down, like Broxton, I mean, he's going back and forth, which means somebody else is going back and forth somewhere, right?
Sure, yeah, you got to be prepared for all that. One move up here could indicate the need for multiple moves, as you mentioned, kind of that domino effect. down from AAA on below. But we try to manage the rosters as best we can, keep everybody on their routine as best we can. But obviously the AAA level gets affected the most. But we manage it as best we can.
Saw Keon Broxton there. What an exciting young player. His ability to run and, you know, still getting his feet wet at this level. But and speed is something that creates a lot of headaches for the opposition if he can get established here at this level. You're talking about a heck of a weapon here, right?
Exactly. I just got to keep running him out there, getting them the at bats, whether it be here or Colorado Springs, and letting him develop and see if he can use those tools that he's blessed with.
Visiting with Tom Flanagan, the Brewers farm director. Tom, every day we get the minor league report, and we're always anxious to get our hands on it. And we take a look at the statistics, but you all are looking, I would imagine, deeper than that, especially when you get into this time of the year, when you're into late July and early August. What are some of the things you look for out of these young players beyond the stats that encourage you moving forward?
Sure, it's really multifaceted. I mean, there's from the medical component, making sure we're managing innings and workloads, down to different things that players have in their player plan. So it's really a multifaceted approach depending on the particular player.
All right, a potential double play here as Craig Counsell is.
Well, that was a heck of a double play by the Pittsburgh Pirates. They lead the National League in double play. Look at this one here. I didn't think they had a chance at 2. Pretty close.
Yeah.
Well, Craig Counsell might want to give a shot right here.
I think he's going to. Yep, we are going to take a look. Very close.
But just to make that close is a pretty good play by these guys up the middle. The Pirates play some pretty good defense, and I would imagine that's something that, as Craig Counsell has tried to establish here from spring training on here at the big league level. But that's something that you guys focus on quite a bit down in the minors as well.
Absolutely, yeah. The consistency, I think, is important. Our roving staff, speaking of infield play, Bobby Missick is an excellent roving infield instructor that we have. Spends a good deal of time in big league camp working with Craig and the major league staff, and try to ensure that the way things are done in the big leagues are also done throughout our minor league system, so that when a player comes up, they're familiar with everything from bunt plays to shifting to defensive alignments and the way they want the game played.
So. Yeah, so when a guy goes from 8 ball to double A, there's really no surprises. Everything's done pretty much the same way.
Yeah, that's the idea. Just to kind of introduce things to them from day one, slowly bringing them into the way we want to do things, so that when they get up here, it's one less thing that they need to adjust to.
Yeah, definition of building a culture, right? It's not just the big league level, it's all the way through. And call's just been overturned, by the way, and Chris Carter will be the 2-out base runner, so they'll get 4 to 6 on the force of Jake Elmore. And the inning will continue here. 2 outs and Carter, the runner at first. One more look. Yep.
Yeah, that's the shot right there. It's pretty clear. And overturned in New York, and the inning continues. We get a little bit longer to have a chat with you. Talk about some of the guys that were here. You know, we had Willie Peralta, Taylor Youngman. Can you give us a bit of a status report on those 2 guys?
Yeah, Willie is actually, his last 2 outings were very nice at Colorado Springs. 2 solid outings. He's throwing the ball much better of late. And Taylor Youngman is at Biloxi, and he's gotten on a roll as well. Every start since his first one at Double A since he's been back there has been pretty solid. So I think both guys are making the turn and on the right track heading back this way.
I would think, Tom, the confidence with both of those guys, especially Willie, I mean, from a couple of years ago, we know how good he can be at his best. And we saw it with Youngman even last year. When he was rolling, I mean, they're obviously the mechanical adjustments, but just from the neck up, getting that confidence back, you know how good they can be.
Absolutely. Yeah, you know it's in there, and it's just it's a different thing with a different player. You just got to get to know that player and see how best to get them back to where we know they can be, they know they can be. So I think it's just a matter of time with both guys.
Hernan Perez at the plate, 2 balls, no strikes. Chris Carter is the runner at first. Jake Elmore began the inning with a single to left. Lucroy a fly to deep right, and then Carter hitting into a fielder's choice. As Perez takes a strike, and it's 2-1.
They couldn't have you up here. You know, I'm a catcher. How about Nottingham? How's he doing down in the minor leagues? That young catcher. Yep. You know, that we picked up with you know, the Chris Davis deal.
He's doing really well. He's caught the bulk of the time, obviously, at Double A, and that's a big jump for him at his age. But he's handled it very well. And Charlie Green, our roving catching instructor, field coordinator, has worked hard since spring training with him and showing good signs of development there.
All right, inning ends. Tom, thanks so much. We appreciate it. Continue. Good luck to you along the way.
Sounds good,
All
man.
right,
Appreciate it.
Brewers Farm Director Tom Flanagan joining us here inside Miller Park. 2-0 Brewers after 3. The Pirates 2-0. First of this 3-game weekend series here in Milwaukee. For the first time ever, the Baseball Hall of Fame is on tour, featuring an IMAX History of Baseball movie plus an entire virtual reality gallery that puts you in the game at Miller Park now through Sunday. Tickets available at halloffametour.com. Hurry. I said now through Sunday. Important to note that. We'll hear from Telly Hughes a bit later in our broadcast tonight. Get you another taste of what you'll be able to enjoy. You get a chance to come out and check out that Hall of Fame tour. Junior Guerra will face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters of the Pirates order. It begins with Gregory Polanco. A ground ball to second in the first inning. Polanco last year was the leadoff man for nearly 100 games for the Pirates. He's more of the 2-hole hitter this season. He did lead off the one and only time, one of the games against the Brewers last week in Pittsburgh. Pirates got him to sign a nice extension. He'll kick in next year, good 5-year contract.
Pirates got a lot of their guys tied up. Position players.
Yeah, it's a team that looks to be set to be in the mix for a while. Starling Marte, an all-star year.
And Marte was one of those guys a couple of years ago. Everybody was wondering if that was going to be a bust. That was going to be a bad deal, but it looks pretty good right now.
Yeah, it sure does. Still the face of the franchise. McCutchen. Polanco goes opposite field, well into left, and it's Jake Elmore near the corner for out number 1. He'll play anywhere. He's in left tonight.
Big gloves, that big outfield glove.
Here is Andrew McCutchen. He's had an un-McCutchen-like year offensively, but might be heating up. That's what he did on Wednesday against the Seattle Mariners, driving in 4, a 3-hit game and hitting a home run.
He'll get it going. I mean, you think about it, the last few years for the Pirates, they really haven't stepped on the gas until about mid-August. And they really get hot, and they end up getting into that wild card. And 3 years in a row, the wild card, they're looking to get a division, but it's going to be pretty difficult this year.
There's a lot of traffic in that wild card race. The Pirates a couple of games behind. Clint Hurdle led his team into the postseason each of the last 3 years. A ball, a strike to the Pittsburgh center fielder. Ground ball into the shift. There's Scooter Gennett. That's out number 2. Here's what we're talking about. A lot of teams bunched up. The Miami Marlins, they've been, I think, maybe they thought they would be in the mix. I'm not sure how many others thought so. And the Cardinals, Rock, they just, they're not great defensively. In fact, they're bad at times defensively, but there they are. You got the Mets. A lot of Rockies even. They got a lot of teams that jump, but they're only 5 out.
I mean, anybody, the team that gets hot at the end of the season is usually the one that's going to get there, right? And that's what the Pirates have done over the last few years. Hang around, then get hot in September and end up getting to the postseason.
Starling Marte. No doubt going into the year, the Pirates were very hopeful of not being a wild card team. That's been the entrance into the postseason. They beat Cincinnati in 2013, but lost as the host team in the wild card in 14 and 15. And those one-game showdowns, if you're up against the wrong pitcher, you're in trouble. And that was what happened to Hurdle's team. It was Madison Bumgarner in 2014, Jake Arrieta last October. And it was one and done for the Pirates. But the way the season has gone, especially after just a 9-win month of June, you tell them they'll make it as a wild card, they'll go.
Yeah.
They feel, yep, we'll take that, make it 4 in a row and see what happens.
They're starting to play well. I mean, the offense is good, and like we said, everything good, but a very inconsistent rotation.
Hey, think of this Pirates team end of last year to this. A.J. Burnett retired. Jay Happ moved on to Toronto. Moved Charlie Morton to the Phillies. They're counting on some young arms and then some other veterans who have since gone from the rotation to the bullpen, including John Neese. 2-2 pitch to Marte, and that is slapped to VR. And Junior Kara has himself another 1-2-3 inning. Well, Scooter Gennett will try to get things started for the Brewers in the bottom of the 4th. Has a hitting streak going. Let's see if he can extend it. It's 2-0 Milwaukee.
Have a 2-0 lead over the Pirates and bring the family out to the ballpark this Sunday afternoon as the Brewers close out their 10-game homestand against these Pirates. All fans in attendance will get a Jimmy Nelson bobblehead courtesy of Associated Bank. Plus, it's also another Kids Eat Free Sunday.
There's a couple good reasons to come to the ballpark. This is what it looks like. He looks kind of menacing here, does Jimmy Nelson. Get it up close.
Getting ready to throw one of those curveballs.
There he is.
Just the thought of that gets me sweating.
You're going to see this coming at you, and then you're going to swing and miss. Spike curveball, Jimmy Nelson. Scooter Gennett, a 7-game hitting streak coming into this game. 0 for 1 tonight. Fly ball to left in the 2nd inning. Brewers getting their runs in the bottom of the first. A Jonathan Villar double, and then with 2 men out, Chris Carter launched one over the wall and left. And Jeanette sends one right back to Stephen Brault, and there is out number 1. Mentioned Brault went to Regis University so he could play some outfield. There were baseball reasons. There was another reason that's maybe a little different. He majored in vocal performance. He's a singer.
Yeah.
A couple of bands. One was described, I have a hard time getting a real mental picture of this, but it was, they said Led Zeppelin folksy.
Really?
It sounds like a contradiction. But pretty good group. I heard a little sample of it. Trying to get familiar with the young left-hander. Got a good voice. This baseball thing might be working out for him too, but if not,
should introduce him to Bronson Arroyo. He's a musician as well.
That's exactly right.
I don't think Arroyo's into Led Zeppelin. He's more the ballad, isn't he?
I think so. I always thought so.
The guitar, he writes music.
Brault grew up just outside San Diego. 2-0 pitch to Keon Broxton. Yeah, the band is called Sweet Gypsies, in case you're wondering. And he was also part of a group called Off the Water. So now you know.
Now, where do you come up with this stuff?
Intense research.
I'm going to tell you.
Intense research.
Well done.
In high school, as Broxton draws a walk, in high school, he played the role of Joe Hardy. Damn Yankees. If you've been around the world long enough, maybe you know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, you could Google it. That's impressive, though.
See, now you're just showing off.
Well, you know.
That's pretty good work.
I had a little time on an off day yesterday for us.
Well done, man.
I'm exhausted.
Damn Yankees, huh?
Uh-huh. There's Kirk Neuenhuis. You know, we talked about his homestand, and he's hit 4 home runs here in this stretch, but it was really important. He had a really just a terrible night for him defensively out in right field. And yesterday he struck out 3 times, and then he hit the home run.
Yeah.
That's a big boy response. A guy who's hit awfully well at Miller Park and had a nightmare night for a guy who doesn't commit errors. But there were 3 of them. Brewers committing 5 on Wednesday, but he had a strong answer with that insurance run he provided with the 8th inning homer.
Yeah, Brewers needed that. The lead was cut to 1. He came up, hit a home run in the bottom of the 8th inning, and Brewers ended up winning by a pair.
Broxton is running. Pitch is taken, and Keon can fly, and he has himself a stolen base.
Almost forgot to slide. That's how fast he was getting down there. That was a dangerous slide as late as it was. Number 8 for Broxton. Boy, those long legs. He can cover a lot of ground very quickly. Hands on the knees, kind of lulling the pitcher to sleep, and that's about as easy as it gets. Well, he went crashing into second base.
Hey, hold your breath a little bit there.
Look at that knee hit. Yeah.
2-1 pitch to Neuenhuis, missing. Single to center in the 2nd inning. Brewers with 4 hits. The Pirates with just 1 here so far. And Neuenhuis draws a walk. So the Brewers have him at 1st and 2nd with 1 out.
Another opportunity once again for Junior Guerra to drop down a bunt. Last time that happened was the 2nd inning. Successful bunt.
Continues to pitch well. Trying to move the runners along here if he can, with 1 out in inning number 4. Scooter Gennett began the inning by bouncing back to the mound. Broxton a walk, Neuenhuis a walk. And Broxton's running, as is Neuenhuis, as Guerra tries to bunt and fouls.
Should have let it go. Somebody missed something there. You don't see a double steal and a bunt. I mean, Broxton has this one stolen. I mean, look, you had the third baseman Gung on the move. That would have been a tough play. Should have probably just let it go. Flip side of that, if he bunts it up in the air, the inning's over.
Runners hold as Guerra shows bunts and pulls back. Six bunts, also has 6 hits. Does Junior Guerra. Getting his first big league plate appearances this season. Briefly with the big club of the White Sox last year, and now Guerra lays one down. Well done, third base side as Jung Ho Gung. And a throw over to Josh Harrison. That's 2 good bunts now that Guerra has laid down.
Yeah, I mean, that's just textbook. I mean, that's a clinic as to how you want to drop down a bunt. With runners at second and third, you want to bunt it toward third, make the third baseman leave the bag, and he does it beautifully. Right away, Cervelli telling his third baseman he only plays at first. Nice job.
7 sacrifice bunts to lead this Brewers team. Who's at the plate, presented by Wendy's. Jonathan Villar doubled. Start the first inning, scored on the Carter home run. Jonathan struck out in the second. Another RBI opportunity for the Brewers shortstop.
Got him on a slider last time on a 3-2 pitch.
Crowd getting into it here, seeing if the Brewers can tack on a couple of more runs. Chris Carter homer has been the scoring so far. Rolled with a 1-0. .379 on base percentage for VR. Was not in the lineup yesterday afternoon, but Craig Counsell has him back in there tonight. Sliders in there, 2-1.
A good pitch. You knew VR just all over a fastball.
Walt has issued a couple of walks here in this 4th inning. Hack there for VR, but a foul ball.
He just went right after him right there. That fastball down the middle was right on it.
Brewers trying to test this young pitcher. Broxton the runner over at third. Kirk Neuenhuis at second. A 2-2 count to Jonathan VR.
See if he gets a slider again.
Brewers making Brault work here as Jake Elmore waits on deck. Chance for VR to add RBIs 39 and 40. See what happens. Payoff pitch, and that is strike 3 called. Fastball retires VR as the Brewers leave a couple on board here in the 4th. We are through 4 at Miller Park. Brewers continue with a 2-0 lead.
Here as we move to the top of the fifth, time to check in with the crew in the community. The Milwaukee Brewers Community Involvement Initiative, known as the Community Achievers Award, recognizes residents throughout the state of Wisconsin for displaying extraordinary efforts in their community. All adults and school-aged children throughout the state of Wisconsin are eligible to participate. To nominate someone for the Community Achievers Award, visit Brewers.com and click on the Community Foundation tab. Matt?
All right, Telly, thank you very much. Jung Ho Gong will lead off here in the fifth for the Pirates. It'll be Gong, Cervelli, and Harrison for Pittsburgh. The Pirates with just one hit through the first four against Guerra. Gong had a 4 RBI day on Wednesday afternoon at PNC Park against the Mariners. It included a 3-run double. Former star in Korea. And Gong pops this one up. Sky high pop up. VR the catch. Out number 1.
Got enough to be able to get that fastball by hitters, or at least get him underneath. He's got a 4-seamer. He's now throwing a 2-seamer. Derek Johnson was working on that with him about 4 or 5 starts ago. They were throwing it in the bullpen, and last couple of times out, we've seen that 2-seam fastball come out quite a bit in a ground ball situation. And the curve ball, he'll cut the fastball from time to time. He just continues to evolve as a starting pitcher.
It's fun to watch, and just great thing about sports, and certainly applies with this Brewers team. You never know in a season who's going to stand out for you. Willie Peralta has had his struggles, and Taylor Youngman as well. We were visiting with Tom Flanagan about those guys, and Youngman in particular, or both actually. And now here's Junior Guerra emerging. He's tried to stay alive in the game of baseball, independent league, internationally, very well documented path now, which was anything but a straight path to the big leagues, but has established himself as one of the really good pitchers here in the big leagues. Francisco Cervelli, a ball, a strike. Worth looking at again as you see some of the rookie stats, the lowest earned run average among rookies. Fun to see a couple of Brewers in that mix.
No kidding, huh? 285 earned run average for Junior. He's having a terrific month of July, which means that the stuff that he's throwing up there has been able to stand the test of time. I mean, teams have seen him. They have the video on him, but still Junior up to this point has been able to stay sharp and get his outs. Stay ahead in the count, and as we talk about, evolve, making up, he's got different pitches sometimes every time he goes out there.
A ball, 2 strikes to Cervelli, and he strikes him out. Out number 2 in the 5th. 4th strikeout now for Guerra.
Check this one out here. Splitter almost looks like a slider. Sometimes he'll pull it a little bit. He'll get a little movement going away from a right-handed batter. And Cervelli just waves at it.
And one more point about the ERAs, taking it another step with Guerra and Davies. Those two have combined for a 14-6 record. It's over 33 games combined for both Davies and Junior Guerra.
Yeah, for a team that's 12 games under 500, that's not too bad out of 2 different guys, 2 different pitchers.
2 outs, bases empty for Josh Harrison. Trying to bunt his way on. I mean, I don't know how many people would have had those 2. Davies maybe, because we saw him late last year, did some good things, but that 8-4 record, remember the first 3 decisions Davies had this year were losing decisions, and since then he's been rolling. That included yesterday for Zach, pitched well and getting that 8th win. 6 1/3, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 of which were earned. Harrison, a liner that is snagged by Scooter Gennett. That's a third straight 1-2-3 inning for Junior Guerra halfway through, and the Brewers lead 2-0.
Two 2-0 lead in the bottom of the 5th inning here at Miller Park, where earlier today Joe Adcock became the 19th player inducted into the Walk of Fame here at Miller Park. And Mr. Adcock was a Milwaukee Brave from 1953 to 1962. And I'm pleased to be joined by his son, Jay Adcock. And when you hear all the accomplishments your father had as a baseball player, you obviously knew him much better as a man and a father and a player. But to go through that ceremony, to hear all those things, how did that make you feel?
Oh, wonderful. I mean, had my whole family, my mother, my sisters, wives and brother-in-laws and kids and nephews and grandkids, everybody. And, you know, a lot of those have never been exposed to that. And to have it all presented in the format that the Brewers did, wonderful. Makes you feel, makes you feel really good. I mean, it's been, you know, you stop and think it's been over 50 years since my dad left Milwaukee. And for them to come back to Brewers organization in the Walk of Fame, I guess, Walk of Fame, and honor my father like that, it's great.
Had a 17-year major league career. 10 of those seasons were here in Milwaukee. What did he love most about being here?
I was real small when he was actually in Milwaukee, so I really don't know the exact ramifications of being in Milwaukee for myself. But as far as his career, the majority and the better things in his career came to Milwaukee. I mean, you know, he as far as some individual games, he broke up Harvey Haddock's perfect game in the 12th inning at the old County Stadium in Milwaukee. He hit 4 home runs and a double for Milwaukee. Won a part of the World Series in '57 with Milwaukee. Was in on the team in '58 that got beat in the World Series. So the majority of his accomplishment in career and the highlights came from Milwaukee. So I mean, you hear about those things, but personally, I wasn't there for the majority of it. But listening to the stories, and I heard plenty of them when I, growing up, it was mainly Milwaukee.
Well, Jay, we really appreciate your time, and now you can enjoy your dad being a part of Miller Park forever.
And that's awful nice. I appreciate it. My whole family appreciates it very much.
All right, thanks for your time, and Rock, you did a great job, but I gotta say, it was so amazing to hear some of those stats you were reading off before tonight's game about Mr. Joe Adcock.
Yeah, he was something else. I mean, he can hit him as far as the big boys. He was one of them. Mickey Mantle, Willie Stargell, Frank Howard, all the greats, all the big home run hitters. Joe Adcock didn't take a back seat to any of those guys. You can see what he was able to do with the Milwaukee Braves. Look at the batting average in 239 homers. And he did win that game with a home run. He actually didn't get a home run on that Harvey Haddock's game in Milwaukee. Hank Aaron was on first base. The winning run scored. Hank Aaron's on first base. He didn't even bother touching the bag. He rounded second. He went into the celebration, and Joe Adcock was credited with a double and 1 RBI.
There's Chris Carter, double play chance for the Pirates. They turn it better than anyone in the National League, and they just turned another one right here. I want to talk about with Joe Adcock there, a terrific career he had, and a good night so far here for the Crew, up 2-0. Pirates scoring in the first inning, a 2-run blast from Chris Carter. That's been it so far. Check out that Carsoup.com trivia question. Who are the only 2 players with more than 7,000 at-bats with the Milwaukee Braves? There you go. How about that combo right there? Hank Aaron and Eddie Matthews. As we look at some more names, including the newest member of the Walk of Fame, Joe Adcock. 2 familiar names as well around here, Johnny Logan and Del Crandall.
There's a great story involving Joe Adcock. You know, New York Giants pitcher Ruben Amaro hit him. He hit him with a pitch. Adcock went out there, right? And Ruben Amaro ran into his own dugout right up into the clubhouse. I don't blame him. Big dude, 6'4", 200, 220.
So instead of no mas, I want none of it, period.
You know what? I don't care about being a, you know, macho. I'm getting out of here.
I'm out. Here's Jordy Mercer.
Yeah.
Big dude.
That's
he
something.
knew who not to mess with. From the state of Louisiana.
Yeah.
Played for LSU and on his way to the big leagues for 17 years. It's kind of funny too, and you mentioned it as part of the ceremony on the field, and it's something that is almost impossible for maybe a young fan to grasp, but he did break up the Harvey Haddix no-hitter in the 12th inning. An unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, an impossible task, you would think now. I mean, we talk about breaking up a no-hitter in the 12th inning. Tonight's Pirates starter, Steven Brault, is compared to Adam Conley, the young lefty for the Marlins, who came to Miller Park and went 7 2/3 without giving up a hit and was pulled.
Right. How many pitches do you think they had?
That pitch count for Haddix be up there a little bit. Here's Mercer with hit number 2 tonight for the Pirates, a single back up the middle.
Jordy Mercer able to stay back long enough on this split change. It stayed up a little bit, but one-handed. Mercer able to muscle it out into center field. On the second hit, that snaps a nice string for Junior Guerra, 12 straight.
Yeah, Starling Marte led off the second with the double, and Guerra put him down until the Mercer single. There's a bunt attempt. Bernard Perez, the second, and out at second. Picked by VR to erase Jordy Mercer.
Tagged him for good measure. Not sure if he had his foot on the bag on the short hop. That was a heck of a play right there by Junior Guerra, or I should say by Jonathan VR. Check out how aggressive Perez is right here. He had the foot on the bag and he got the out at second base. Look where Perez ends up. He ends up on the first base side of the bag to make this play. And VR with a nice pick.
So they get the force at second. Good work by the Brewers shortstop. Stephen Brault, the new runner at first. Top of the order now for John Jaso. Jaso lined to Jeanette to begin the game, and he struck out in the third inning. First baseman full time for the first time in his big league career. In fact, just a handful of innings he played there before coming over to the Pirates. Mostly a catcher and a DH before moving on to Pittsburgh. Signed a free agent deal back in December. And you see the Brewers with the shift, and that means a lot of space that Jaso can shoot one opposite way.
Yeah, serviceable over at first base, and Clinton Hurdle with leads always really takes him out of the game and puts Sean Rodriguez at first base. But they like him in there for his offense. He's been a pretty good leadoff hitter. You know, on base percentage at .335, not great. There's Sean Rodriguez right there.
2 balls, 1 strike to Jaso. Moved by fastball there to even the count.
95 miles an hour from Junior that time.
One out, 1 on here in the 6th for the Pirates. And Jaso goes down on strikes. It's 5 of them now for Junior Guerra. 2 men out here in the 6th.
And another fastball up in the zone. Hey, tonight's time of the game winner, Silver Eagle Saloon or Salon in Watertown. What is that? Salon?
I think Saloon. I would go with Saloon.
Oh, I got it wrong. The card on here says something different.
Oh, it does. A little typo there. Who's responsible for that?
I don't want to say. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. Yeah, it's Saloon on the monitor. It's different on the card. But if they call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. I'm sorry that I rambled.
It's all right.
It's offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. It's obviously Saloon on the monitor.
I thought you showed great restraint. You could have thrown someone under the bus, and you team guy, you didn't do it.
You know what that is? That's my fault.
Wow, see, that's big time. You are no I guy. You are a we guy. Gregory Polanco, Silver Eagle Saloon.
Yeah,
Watertown.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious on the monitor, but the thing is, those cards are always so accurate. It's very surprising.
Yeah, a rare error. A rare typographical error. Well, 1 pitch to Polanco. You know, I've been with you long enough as the reserve announcer too. There's sometimes you know the type, it's a little small.
Yeah.
And then
especially when you're getting up there in age, it makes it a little bit more difficult.
I fully understand that.
It's all good.
You fight through adversity.
Yeah.
It's a good job.
It's live television.
Well, no net.
No do-overs.
2 strikes and nothing to Gregory Polanco. And right to Chris Carter. Junior Guerra continues to hold a good hitting team in check. Still 2-0 Milwaukee. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Hupy and Abraham. 1-800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. 2-0 Brew Crew leading the Pirates, moving to the bottom of the 6th. Junior Guerra has given up just 2 hits here so far. Brewers getting their runs on a Chris Carter 2-run homer in inning number 1. Hernan Perez will lead things off. Yesterday had a big 2-run homer. Home run Powerball count at 6 this year for Hernan Perez. Putting together a very nice year here for Milwaukee. And homer yesterday tied the game after the D-backs scored 2 in the first off Zach Davies. 3rd inning blast for Perez.
Now they're starting to pitch him inside. I mean, in the beginning of the year, he was getting a lot of pitches away. He was driving the ball in the right field, but I think the league started to make adjustments on him, pitching him inside a little bit more. Now all of a sudden he's pulling the baseball, hitting some more home runs. Like that. Just missed it.
It just did miss. A fly ball on the left, and Sterling Marte for out number 1. You got to close the book on that. Honoring Joe Adcock tonight. Walk of Fame. One of the things that made Adcock famous was breaking up that no-hitter that Harvey Haddix had. And it was a game that Lou Burdette went the distance in getting the win. The extra inning win. Take a guess on the time of game. For a long
back
then it was 1-0, so obviously low scoring, but you're talking extra frames
Haddix
here.
had a perfect game going, right?
He had a perfect game going. So
let's say 310.
Game clip
320.
Take the under. 2:54.
Wow.
Was the time of game.
You know, back then they were up there hacking. They were not messing around. And yeah,
Haddix struck out 8, Burdette 2. So ball was in play an awful lot.
Yeah. Walks. Well, 2 walks in the game, right? Well, Haddix had a perfect game going. And Lou Burdette had 2 walks.
1, yeah.
One walk.
There was one total walk. According to the box score I have here.
Okay,
yeah.
1 walk.
It's kind of fun. You look at the lineup, starting lineups. Of course, you had Eddie Matthews, Hank Aaron, Del Crandall, Johnny Logan, all in there for the Braves. Bill Verdon, Bill Mazeroski in the lineup. For the Pirates, Scooter Gennett shoots one down the left field line. That'll extend his hitting streak to 8 games as Gennett will coast into second with a double.
He's hanging right in there, doesn't he? He's not giving an inch against these lefties. 16th double of the year for Scooter. And check it out. He hangs right in there, and that ball middle away. Watch the way he's really concentrating on going top down, down and through, and that's the way he's able to get on top of it and line it one hop by the bag and down the line for a double. That's just a nice approach. Good swing by Scooter Gennett.
Career high hitting streak now for Gennett at 8 games. Here's Keon Broxton. He's walked a couple of times, has a stolen base to his credit tonight. His 8th steal in 9 attempts with the Brewers. Crew has stranded 5 through the first 5. Missed a couple of opportunities with runners at second and third, but just could not get that 2-out hit. We'll see what happens with 1 out and a runner in scoring position in inning number 6.
Yeah, nothing doing in that Pirates bullpen. Pitch count over 90 now for Brault. Brewers are down to the bottom of the order, and there's where all the walks have come. 7 and 8 in the batting order.
Yeah, Broxton twice. Neuenhuis has walked as well.
Bottom 3 in the order are 1 for 1. Broxton, Neuenhuis, and Guerra.
Yep. Yeah, 2 sack bunts for Guerra. The 1 hit single for Neuenhuis. Back into center field. Guerra has pitched awfully well. I'd like to see the Brewers tack on some more runs here, though, against this Pirates team that the top 3rd in runs per game. Hit the ball well. 2-2 pitch.
He's been coming inside with that fastball all night pretty effectively as well. Haven't seen a lot of changeups though. It's been basically fastball slider. A lot of fastballs in on these right-handed batters.
See what he brings. 3-2. And that's hit in the air, left center field. That is down, a base hit. Here comes Gennett. He'll score. Broxton flying to second. Run scoring double for Keon Broxton. And it's a 3-0 game.
Boy, you really root for a guy like Broxton. He's been back and forth a lot. 4 times and got a slider up. It just spun up there on the 3-2 pitch. And you see the pitch really doesn't do much. And Broxton, although he got it down on the trademark a little bit, able to find the gap, and with his good speed ends up into second base with a double. Good for him. 1 for 1 for Broxton. He's been on base 3 times. Badger Mutual Insurance runs Scooter Gennett back-to-back doubles.
3-0 lead now for Milwaukee. Pitching coach Ray Searage out to visit with the 24-year-old left-hander Steven Brault. This is Brault's 2nd big league appearance. Quick trip to the mound. Brault's first major league start was on July 5th at St. Louis. There's Jared Hughes getting loose in the Pirates bullpen.
Well, he has pitched well tonight. He really has. He gave up that 2-run homer to Carter in the first, and back-to-back doubles in his 6th inning. But other than that, he's been pretty good.
And they're going to let him work, see if he can get through this bottom of the order. The 8-9 hitters. Kirk Neuenhuis. Single and a walk for the Brewers right fielder tonight. 8 for 19 in this homestand is Neuenhuis with 4 long balls, and he's driven in 7. Hernan Perez began the inning with a fly ball to the left, and then back-to-back doubles. Scooter Gennett and Keon Broxton. One pitch. Throw down to second, but Broxton able to get back.
Good throwing arm for Francisco Cervelli. About 30% thrower.
Missed more than a month. Had a broken bone in his hand. Which occurred back on June 10th. Rolled ready with the 2-1, but he'll take a look over at Broxton. Keon with a stolen base back in the 4th inning. He is 8 for 9 in steal tries as a Brewer. Well, we talk about statistically, this is not considered a shift here for the Pirates. But they are swinging Jordy Mercer. He's shaded toward the bag at second. It is an adjustment. So he's been playing a little game with Broxton out there. Slipping behind him. 2-2, a wave and a miss for Nieuwenhuis, and that's out number 2.
Yeah, that's the slider he was trying to throw to Keon Broxton, but he left that one upstairs. That was a good one that time. And much better depth on it, down and off the outside corner.
Here's Junior Guerra. Gonna let her rip right now. Guerra, a couple of sacrifice bunts here tonight. Textbook bunts at that. Chuckling at himself there as he waved and missed for strike 1. He does have 6 hits this season. Struggling a bit right now.
We're going to knock one out of here. Cervelli saying, hey, take it easy, you're going to hurt yourself.
Looking for that first RBI. Trying to pick up Broxton. And he just did miss.
Yeah, not by much. Once you take a look, you can review this. Craig Katz was saying, was it beyond the umpire? If it's beyond the umpire, the third base umpire, you can take a look at it. You can review it. I don't think it was. It's clearly foul.
Yeah.
That's a good job right there by Mark Wegner to jump out of the way. That's showing some pretty good moves right there.
That's multitasking. Old skip rope and make the call.
That's a pretty good vertical leap, wasn't it?
Good hang time. Very impressive. Good reaction, the whole deal. And now that pulse rate's at about 130.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what almost happened.
He's thinking third base is supposed to be an off night.
1-2 pitch. Bouncing ball to Jordy Mercer. And that's it for the Brewers, but they pick up another run here in the 6th. Scooter Gennett with a double to extend his hitting streak to a career best 8 games. And then Keon Broxton brings him around. Back-to-back doubles. Helps give the Brewers a 3-0 lead. 3-0 lead over the Pittsburgh Pirates. And tomorrow MLB on FS1 is back with a big-time doubleheader. Division leaders square off when Bryce Harper and the Nationals battle Buster Posey and the Giants. Then the Cards try to tame the power of Giancarlo Stanton and the Marlins. A game you can only see on FS1. The action starts at 2 p.m. Central on FS1 or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Andrew McCutchen will lead things off 3, 4, and 5 in the Pittsburgh lineup. By the way, that Cardinals-Marlins series has interest for a couple of reasons. Cardinals lead Miami tonight 11-6. Ichiro hitless tonight for Miami so far. He is 0 for 4. He is 2 hits away from 3,000 in his major league career.
Well, certain Hall of Famer. I mean, I don't think there's any question. He's a first ballot. Incredible. Was he 42?
42 and hitting like 335 this season. I
think Don Mattingly is doing a good job, you know, mixing him in and out of the lineup, just keeping him strong. And
ball is strike to McCutchen. And a foul ball over at third. There's a real good story in MLB Network. They had an Ichiro feature where Lou Piniella was trying to get Ichiro to hit the ball to the opposite field. Ichiro hit an opposite field home run, circled the bases, came back into the dugout, had a big old smile, said, "You happy now?" Bouncing ball to Hernan Perez. 1 out.
I didn't think that Ichiro had a difficult time hitting the left field. I mean, really?
Yeah. Actually, I said opposite field pull. Excuse me. Pull the ball.
Oh, okay.
It'd have been better if I'd have gotten that right the first time. Me. Error on me. Yeah. Can you get him to pull the ball? Okay. So then he launches one.
Yeah. That makes sense.
There we go.
Yeah, something else. How many hits did he have in Japan? I mean, he had tons.
1,200. I want to say 1,200.
Right.
Around there. 1 out for Starling Marte.
Yeah, Junior Guerra's got himself a nice little streak going.
He does. He is not allowed an earned run since the first inning of his outing at Pittsburgh on July 19th. We're talking 17 innings and counting here for Junior Guerra. 0-2 to Starling Marte. He has one of the 2 Pirates hits, a second inning double. He also grounded out to short. That was in the 4th. And Marte will lift one to center. Broxton right there. That's out number 2.
And just a clinic, you know, changing speeds, keeping the ball down, elevating the fastball from time to time. He's been able to get the fastball up to about 95 miles an hour. And the split change has been good. This is another really good start by Junior.
Base is empty. 2 men out for Jung Ho Gong. Strikeout and a pop up to short for the Pirates' third baseman tonight. You're asking about Ichiro in Japan. It was exactly 1,278 hits. 2998 in the big leagues. Trying to hit that magic number. Young with a fly ball back into right field. Kirk Neuenhuis. And another 1-2-3 inning for Junior Guerra. The clinic continues. 3-0 Milwaukee.
Fame tour, but time is running out for you to come out here and check out some of these cool artifacts like this hot dog vending bucket that was used in the early 1900s, or Harry Caray's glasses. The longtime Chicago Cubs broadcaster used those glasses, and he became quite popular from those glasses. Once again, you want to get out here because this exhibit leaves town Sunday. Go to halloffametour.com to get tickets.
They both look great, but the glasses. Harry Caray, huh?
How about looking at the hot dog thing around?
That'd be some work
It
now.
had gas, it had fire going. You think they'd do that these days?
Probably not. Just a guess.
Carrying around a big boiler, right? I mean, you got water, you're boiling water in this thing, you're carrying it around. Had to be heavy.
Had to.
That's awesome.
Oh, how good did they taste, though, huh?
Mm-hmm. Nothing like it at the ballpark.
Nope. Can't help but smile. You look at those glasses, you think of Harry Caray.
Yeah.
Living life, or lived life to its fullest. Jonathan Villar leading things off in a chopper. This will be a tough play for Mercer. Oh, a bare hand pick, but the throw not in time.
Yeah, he messed that one up. He went back. He waited back on the hop, and once that ball bounced a second time, that was not going to end well for Jordy Mercer. If he had to do over again, he would have charged it. He might take a look at it, but check it out. I mean, this is right here. He's got to charge this. He waits back, makes a nice play to get it close. And I think that he beat it. Yes, he did. That's when you got to charge with Villar running.
Yeah, definitely the wrong hitter to lay back on there, and Villar is on. It's a 2-for-4 night going. Could be itching to run here. Villar and Marte with 36 stolen bases coming into the game. Jake Elmore starting lineup again tonight in left field. Single to left in the third, and Villar is running on a pitch out, and the throw down to second, not in time. Number 37 for Jonathan Villar.
Well, the Pirates might want to take a look at this one too. Pretty quick release by Cervelli. The ball bounced, and they're going to take a look at it. Question is, where does he make the tag? You really can't tell in that angle. Eddie's legs in the way.
Good job, Eddie. Create some doubt.
This will be the defining shot right here. Does he get him on the hip right there?
Yeah, is there enough to overturn it?
Pretty close. It's a pretty good gamble for the Pirates, though. They have their challenge left. Now, where is the tag actually made? Is it there? Is it there? If it's there, he's safe.
Yeah, hard to. Be a hard one to piece together, I would think, for the crew in New York.
Yeah, with nobody out, I mean, that's a good gamble. Top of the order up. Might get lucky on the review. And besides, if you lose the review, you can always ask later in the game, 8th and 9th inning, you can ask the umpires to just take a look at it, which they always do, so why not?
Yeah, this is like the freebie here.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Have them look at it.
Mike Winters is the crew chief. And Villar remains safe. Ball stands, so stolen base number 37 for Jonathan Villar. Regains the stolen base lead in the National League.
Yeah, right from the beginning, it didn't look like Josh Harrison was convinced he had him. He kind of held the hands up saying, I'm not sure. And so they take a look at it and lose.
RBI opportunity now for Jake Elmore. Jared Hughes with the 1-0.
Got to get him over to third base. You got Lucroy on deck. If they get him to third, or regardless, I think they're probably going to walk Lucroy anyway if Sommer is able to drive in a run.
The ball is strike to Elmore. And Elmore lays one down. Gung play at first. Good bunt by Elmore as VR moves over to third.
It's a bunting clinic tonight by the Brew Crew. That's a heck of a bunt right there by Elmore, and a nice play by Gung to get him at first base. Doing the little things right are the Brewers. Bunting for a base hit. He's going to be credited with a sacrifice, though. That's third sacrifice of the game for Milwaukee.
Two from Junior Guerra, and now one from Elmore. 5-3, and the play at first as VR moves over to third.
I can't believe they're not walking Lucroy here. Set up a double play. No team in the National League turns more double plays than the Pirates.
They've turned one tonight. 110 now they have turned this season. Infield is in for Lucroy. 3-0 ball game here in the seventh. And Hurdle electing to have his reliever Jared Hughes pitch away here, and you see the drawn in infield.
Maybe you're going to see if Lucroy is going to chase. I doubt they're going to throw him a strike. I can't believe they would.
Pitch.
They did.
Lucroy took a look at it. Fastball from Hughes. On in relief of Steven Brault, who went the first 6, gave up 7 hits, 3 runs, walked 3, and struck out 3. Ball, 2 strikes to the Brewers catcher. VR led off the inning with an infield hit. Stole second. Moved to third on the Elmore bunt. 31-year-old Jared Hughes on now for the Pirates. 4th round pick by Pittsburgh 10 years ago. Here's the 1-2. Bouncing ball to Gung, coming home is VR, and that's easy money for Pittsburgh. Gung to Cervelli to retire VR. That is out number 2.
And that's what Jared Hughes is able to do. He gets a lot of ground ball outs. You see the pitch. I mean, they went right after Lucroy here. That might have been a pitch out of the zone, but didn't want to take any chances. Even with the bag is Gung. And it gets real easy. Good throw. And no chance for VR to score.
So 2 men out. Lucroy the runner at first, and here's Chris Carter. Check out the Powerball home run leaderboard. Carter with number 23 tonight, a 2-run shot in the first inning. Ryan Braun not in the lineup tonight because of the tightness in his right side. 14 home runs. Lucroy next up with 13. 0-2 now to Carter. 23 homers. He has now driven in 58. Two-strike pitch coming. .23 homers, 17 of them for Carter here at Miller Park. He launched it in the first inning over the wall and left. Talked a lot about Kirk Neuenhuis and how he hits well, period, in this park. The power numbers and the run production for Carter mostly here. And this is popped up. John Jaso right in front of the bag. That'll retire the side, and we move to the 8th. Still 3-0 Milwaukee. Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. Chris Carter, a 2-run homer in the first. 3-0 Milwaukee leading Pittsburgh as we move to the top of the 8th inning. Series opener and Junior Guerra. Pitch count in good shape. 2-hit shutout baseball through the first 7. Check it out. No walks and 5 strikeouts here for Guerra. He will face Francisco Cervelli. He's popped to short and struck out. Cervelli's been a good story, especially last year with the Pirates. They lost Russell Martin to Toronto. That was a big hit, or so everyone thought, for this Pirates team. But Cervelli has had injury problems in his career, stayed healthy last year, and put together a very nice season.
Yeah, losing Russell Martin hasn't even been an issue here in Pittsburgh or with this Pirate ball club. I agreed. I thought losing Russell Martin, they lose a bit of an edge. They had a guy that, kind of a throwback. He played every day. So did Cervelli. Handled the pitching staff pretty well.
Cervelli will lift one in a shallow right. Easy play for Neuenhuis, and there's out number 1. Terrific night continuing for Junior Guerra here. Rocky said it. He is putting on a clinic, and the clinic continues.
Yeah, good splitter. I mean, the splitter, the fastball has been able to elevate. He's faced only 2 over the minimum. The Pirates have only had 1 man in scoring position. That was the 2nd inning, a leadoff double. He stranded him. He has been terrific amongst all of his starts, all of his very good starts. This is right up there at this point.
Through a stretch where he retired 12 straight. Set down 7 straight now as he faces Josh Harrison. Going after the first pitch. Another chance for Neuenhuis. 2 up, 2 down.
They have live broadcast, scoring updates, breaking news, and more right at your fingertips with MLB.com At Bat, the official app of the Brewers. Download At Bat today, free for your smartphone or tablet. Use it up here every night.
Yes, we do.
Invaluable source or resource.
A professional lifeline. Guerra now against Jordy Mercer. Mercer with one of the 2 hits for Pittsburgh. Mentioned when Guerra set down 12 in a row, it was Mercer who broke up that stretch from Guerra with a leadoff single in the 6th.
You see what the Pirates are doing as the game's going on? They're hacking early on the fastball because they really don't want to get. They want to have Garrett be throwing that splitter. They haven't been able to touch it tonight.
2 outs in the 8th inning, and this is pitch number 87 from Guerra, and a ground ball, backhand stop by Perez, and a throw in time. 87 pitches through 8 innings for Guerra. Nice play by Perez to end the frame. Bottom of the 8th, 3-0 to score.
Been just a 2-hitter, a shutout going, 87 pitches through 8 innings, and the Brewers one of only 7 teams who have not had a complete game yet. Could be on the verge here with only 87 pitches.
Well, that's right. He has been pretty efficient with his pitches, but what's been great about it is that he's pitched ahead in the count on most of the hitters, and then be able to use all of his other pitches. Just fantastic job.
We're going to break it down. Brewers Live post game coming up. Going to hear from Garrett, Craig Counsell, and the crew, and get you set for game 2 of this series. Boy, what a gem and what a fun night it's been watching Junior Guerra out on the mound, guys.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Craig. Davey, we'll look forward to Brewers Live post game. It is a clinic. Here's Juan Nicasio now, former starter, moving to the bullpen here for the Pirates.
Yeah, allowed 1 run and 2 hits and 2 innings of work back on July 23rd. Against the Phillies while recording his 8th win of the season, so it's been a while for Nicasio. You see his numbers overall. He did make 12 starts for the Pirates.
Yeah, moved to the bullpen in late June. Here's Hernan Perez. Perez, Jeanette, and Broxton here for Milwaukee in the 8th inning. Perez tonight, a fly ball to right, a pop up to second, and a fly ball to left. One pitch. Steven Brault started. Jared Hughes worked the 7th, and now Nicasio in the 8th, and a chopper to John Jaso for out number 1. Let's check out what's on tap. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Second game of the series. The Brewers send Chase Anderson to the mound tomorrow against Jameson Taillon, the big and young right-hander. 2-1 so far. Chase looking for win number 6. Coverage tomorrow starts at 5:30 right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Yeah, picked up a win his last time out
against the Diamondbacks. Here's Scooter Gennett. Scooter extended his hitting streak to a career high 8 with a double in the 6th. He and Broxton doubled back to back, pushing across the 3rd run of the night for Milwaukee.
Yeah, that 3rd run's a big run because, you know, as we get through this ball game, the Pirates, you know, you get a couple of men on with nobody out. They really can't bunt now with, you know, down by 3. It was a 2-0 game. They could. Of course, they haven't been able to get more than 1 man on in a given inning anyway against Junior so far. And it looks as though Craig Counsell is going to allow Guerra to finish this one off. Nothing doing in that Brewers bullpen.
Yeah, Guerra has needed 87 pitches. That's it to get through 8 innings. And on a 1-2 pitch, Gennett gets hit. Gets away from Juan Nicasio, and Cervelli is hurt. That
right on the inside of the foot.
Yeah. And he is in a lot of pain.
He just recently came off the disabled list. You can see right there, maybe right on that ankle bone, and he goes down quickly. You got the pant legs of Scooter Gennett. I don't think it really got the body, but it did get the catcher, Cervelli.
As Rock said, Cervelli was on the DL. He suffered a broken bone in his hand back on June 10th. Out a little bit more than a month. You can see he's trying as best he can to shake this off, but he's pretty close to a direct hit right there after clipping Gennett. Looks like his night's going to be done. Francisco Cervelli. We talked about the value that Cervelli brought to this ball club and has ever since coming over. The good year he had last year. As you see, Eric Fryer is going to come in now to work behind the plate. And Cervelli last year turned into a workhorse. Only Yadier Molina in the National League with more games behind the plate than Cervelli.
Yeah, that doesn't look good for him. You hope it's just a bruise.
No weight at all on that right foot. Clearly a storyline here for the Pirates throughout the rest of this weekend. There's Eric Fryer, the 30-year-old. Brad Fisher there, former Brewers coach. Fryer getting things squared away with Nicasio. Fryer was actually a Brewers draft pick back in 2007, was traded to the Yankees, and then the Yankees moved him a couple of years later to the Pirates.
Yeah, give him a couple to get loose. And there's a couple of Brewers connections in that Pirate dugout. Nick Leyva, first base coach for the Pirates, was a Brewers coach, and Ray Searage, their pitching coach, pitched for the Brewers when I was there.
That's right. He has really developed a reputation, his ability to mentor pitchers.
Yeah.
Second time around with the Pirates for Fryer. He was selected off waivers from St. Louis, the Pirates, back on July 3rd. Here's Keon Broxton. One out, and Scooter Gennett, the runner at first. RBI double for Broxton in the 6th inning. Drove in a couple of runs yesterday. The series finale against Arizona, series that saw the Brewers win 3 of 4. Broxton sends one to right field. Routine for Polanco. 2 outs.
Hey, this summer you can see both the Brew Crew and the Zoo for one low price. For just $20, you'll get a ticket to an upcoming Brewers game, an adult general admission ticket to the Milwaukee County Zoo, and a free lunch cooler. For details, visit brewers.com/zoo.
Always a deal to be had, and a real good one. 2 outs. Jeanette the runner at first for Kirk Neuenhuis. He has reached twice tonight, a single to center, a walk, struck out in the 6th. A little smile from both Jaso and Jeanette there. Himself a good homestand.
Yes, he is. He's nearly 380, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Driven in 7 runs. Good job of staying with things. He talked about it last week. Post-game chat with Sophia Minard, just changing a couple things up, but just trying to stay with it, going through a tough stretch, but hits well here. Major league response yesterday after a 3-hour night on Wednesday night, and he struck out his first 3 plate appearances yesterday and then launched an 8th inning home run.
You just got to stay positive, and there's no better guy to have in your corner than Darnell Coles, the Brewers hitting coach. I mean, hitting coaches in general have to be a very positive bunch, but I think Darnell takes it to the next level.
Saying today, reminding us before the game by the batting cage, he says it's too much effort to be mopey. You always have to be fabulous, always great. Too much energy to be miserable. That's what he said. That was a good line.
Yeah.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Neuenhuis. He does keep it upbeat through the long grind of a season.
Trying to get every one of his guys where they should be, and it's different. It's different for every one of them. He's got to know what their keys are, what they need to work on, what gives them trouble, and more importantly, what happens when they're going well. Remind them of that.
2-2 pitch. Well, we had Farm Director Tom Flanagan up here and just talking about the system and building the culture throughout the organization. And in chats with Darnell Coles, it's the same thing, trying to develop that. Here's how things will be done here. And obviously, in the dugout, it starts with the manager, Craig Counsell, but all throughout the staff. This is the way things will be done here. This is the process. And it's all part of the building of this club and getting it back into the mix. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Kirk Neuenhuis. A strikeout here to end the 8th inning. Brewers leave a runner. Junior Guerra looking to finish off a masterpiece at Miller Park. terrific night for Junior Guerra. Good night here for the Crew. 3-0 as we move to the 9th inning. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Spend the nights with luxury. Check it out. 87 pitches through the first 8 innings here for Junior Guerra. And now trying to spin a complete game. He will face Matt Joyce, pinch hitting in the 9th spot. That's how the 9th inning will begin here for the Pirates.
Yeah, you figure the leash is going to be fairly short for Junior. Maybe a hitter or two if somebody reaches, but right now no real activity in that bullpen. You got Jeremy Jeffress walking around a little bit. And just now starting to toss lately just in case there's trouble. I don't think Craig Counsell wants this thing to go too deep into trouble.
Well, it's 9-1-2 in the order for the Pirates. Joyce a swing and a miss. Guerra has given up all of 2 hits here tonight. A double in the second from Marte, a 6th inning single off the bat of Jordy Mercer. Three balls, 1 strike to Joyce. And a ground ball foul.
Can't remember too many 3-1 counts for Junior Guerra, let alone full counts tonight. He's been that good so far.
He's yet to walk a man. He has 5 punch outs. Here comes the 3-2. Hot smash into right field. Joyce with a base hit to start the 9th.
I didn't want to walk him. He threw the fastball down the middle, and Joyce able to turn it around. Yep, and a good swing, good extension. Yeah, one more base runner. That's going to be it for Junior, and hopefully doesn't get there. Jeremy Jeffress starting to get hot out there on the mound.
Jeffress had his first save opportunity in a while yesterday and converted it. John Jaso hitless in 3 trips. A couple of strikeouts for Jaso as well as a liner to second.
Yeah, it's interesting when you look at the 3 hits that the Pirates have had tonight. They're all leadoff base hits.
You're right, Marte the double in the second, the Mercer single to start the 6th. And Joyce here in the 9th for Clint Hurdle's team. Team that hits the ball well. Just not tonight, at least to this point. 0-1 to the first baseman. Jaso coming into this game, it's only played at Miller Park 4 times, his 5th, but he came in 8 for 18. His appearances here. Break-even pitch coming from Junior Guerra. Held up. Just 96 pitches so far from Guerra.
And last one looked pretty good, just missing the bottom of the strike zone.
The 2-1. It's missing inside. Big pitch coming up here for Guerra. And the count will run full.
And still able to get in on some hands, right? 94 miles an hour with the fastball and a 3-1 count. Oh, what's he do here? Does he go with a splitter? Or does he challenge him just like he did against Joyce and throw the fastball?
Gregory Polanco waits on deck. 3-2 pitch. And runners are at first and second.
And I've got to believe that's going to be it. Got the tying run coming to the plate. And the big boys coming up.
Polanco, McCutchen, and Marte. And here comes Counsell.
Well, he tried. He gave him a chance to finish this game.
Bid for what would have been the first complete game of the season for the Crew. And he may leave him in there. Yes, sir. How about that? Garrett thought he was coming out.
So did I. So did I. There's a big gamble right here. It's going to be the fourth time through the batting order. Craig Counsell, his manager, surprising everybody by leaving him in. Jeremy Jeffress continues to get loose.
He gave him a little jab there, and he says, finish this off.
Another learning experience from the Brewers manager. Showed a lot of confidence in his guy.
Yeah, he is.
Yes, sir.
On the watch here. Now let's see if Garrett can deliver. Sean Rodriguez pinch running over at first now, in for Jaso.
This is called player development right here. This is exactly what this is. Player development. Seeing if Junior Guerra can finish this off tonight.
He is still in there trying to get that first complete game of the year for the Crew. Gregory Polanco at the plate. Polanco this year has homered 13 times. He has driven in 54. Junior Guerra gets the big shot of confidence from his manager. And a ground ball to Carter. On the second for the force. Zoe Race Rodriguez, runners at first and third with one out.
Nice play by Carter. That's a long throw over there from where he was to second base, right on the money. Keeping that double play alive. Well, you still have the tying run coming up, and it's Andy McCutchen. Look how long this throw is. Right on the money. No chance for a double play. Just hold on to it.
The tying run remains at the plate. Polanco at first. Matt Joyce, the runner, at third. Now Guerra will square off with Andrew McCutchen. McCutchen hitless in 3 trips tonight. A strike to McCutchen.
Thought it was low.
Brewers infield swung around toward left. Jeanette right behind the bag out there at second. Starling Marte is on deck. Guerra with the 0-1. Bouncing ball. Perez flips to Jeanette. They'll get the force there. 2 men out. A run will score. The Pirates get on the board. But the Brewers get the second out of the inning.
That's a nice pitch right there. The split change and got McCutchen out in front. That was a heck of a play by Perez to cut it off and get the out at second base. That was actually a slider that time. Hadn't thrown too many of those tonight. McCutchen way out in front. I'll tell you, that'd been an interesting play had that ball gotten all the way to Jonathan Villar.
2 outs. McCutchen, the runner at first. Craig Counsell letting it roll here with Junior Guerra. 1 out away from a complete game. And he will face the All-Stars, Starling Marte, representing the tying run. 9th inning and pumping it in there at 95. Big time decision by the Brewers manager.
I like it. I like it. Why not?
31-year-old rookie Junior Guerra, one of the outstanding stories in baseball this season. A 1-strike pitch. Hot shot off the umpire and by Jeanette. Boy, that looked like, I think that did graze Mike Winters.
Yeah, that's a an automatic base hit. I think the that got him good. You all right? And he says he's all right. That ball was smoked.
Was.
Got him around the back of the head, it appears.
Winters saying, I'm good, I'm all right. You want to make sure.
That was right in the air. I mean, had it not hit him, I think Scooter's going to be able to catch it, but the umpire's in play. They hit him in the head. It's a dead ball. It's a base hit, and everybody has to advance 1 base. And credit Marte with a single.
And the tying run is at first. And now Counsell's going to have to make the move. And we'll see a double switch here as Guerra will go 8 2/3. Well, he let Guerra try to get through this inning. The first visit, everybody thought he was going to make the move.
That's a good job tonight, and that's a heck of a decision by Craig Counsell to allow who may have be his best pitcher out there throughout the season to try and finish it. Take it a chance. We'll see if it works. But his night is over. Junior Guerra, a heck of a job tonight.
8 2/3 innings. 8 2/3 innings, a run, just 4 hits, and a standing O. We won the score as Jeffress will try to finish it off. In 2/3 innings. I mean, he was just terrific here tonight. Craig Counsell doing all he could, trying to let his guy get every chance to finish the game.
Yeah.
1 out short. What a performance, though.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, what more can you ask out of what that guy's done? Double switch when Jeffress comes in. Ramon Flores in right. Jeremy saved yesterday's game. A perfect 9th inning. 3 up, 3 down that included a strikeout. He's only got to get 1 out.
Tough out, though. Jung Oh Kang. 2 on, 2 out. 3-1 Brewers here in the 9th. First pitch swinging. Ground ball. Perez bobbles it, but recovers in time, and the Brewers win it. 1 pitch. Jeffress, the save. And he saves one heck of a performance from Junior Guerra.
Nice job by Junior Guerra. I mean, the offense was pretty efficient tonight. I mean, what more can you say about what this young man has been able to do since he's gotten called up? I mean, it's been amazing to watch him evolve as a starting pitcher and get yet another win. Junior Guerra now 7-2.
And the Brewers are now 11-5 when he starts. Great effort. Jeffress finishes it off as the Brewers take the opener of this weekend series. 3-1 Brewers beat the Pirates. Let's send it down to Craig Coshun standing by with Brewers Live postgame.
All right, we've got